Hello, and welcome back to Pinoy Fiance Visa to American Green Card, Episode 2. Again, my name is Ken. This is.
Jovi the wifey.
During our last adventure, our first episode, I fulfilled the first requirement to obtaining a K1 Fiance Visa, which is I traveled to the Philippines and met my lovely wife, eventually asking her parents' permission. And upon return to the United States, I had to start doing a little bit of research. All information is readily available on the uscis.gov website. The first thing I should probably mention is, besides dealing with the U.S. Customs and Immigration Service, you'll be dealing with the DOS, which is the Department of State, the NVC, which is the National Visa Center, and the American Embassy. But all of these fall under the jurisdiction of
The DHS, Department of Homeland Security. We have all the jurisdiction over all the before mentioned agencies. We can review and deny any form that is not filled out properly and or submitted in the time frame required. Okay?
Don't let that scare you or overwhelm you. Actually, the forms involved required to obtain the K1 visa are easily accessed through the USCIS website. You will be starting with a form known as I-129F. This form can be easily downloaded in PDF form along with its 14-page instructional information. This we will attempt to delve into shortly. Until then, signing off. Welcome back. Here we are at our favorite search engine, and at this time simply type in uscis.gov and it'll bring up their home page and some options. We'll go to forms. Now once you get to forms, they have a search their site window at the top here. Just type in fiance, and up comes fiance visa requirements. It's beneficial to go over these. There are a number of types of fiance visas. Those that include children. Is your fiance in the United States? Is she overseas? Has she been married in the United States before? For simplicity's sake, we're going to use the first option, visas for fiancés of U.S. citizens. I'll select this, and here we have guidelines. It's important you read these and understand that before you file your Form I-129F petition for alien fiancé, that this information be understood. Also below that, there is an option for eligibility for fiancé visas. Click on this. These are requirements, and they must be adhered to. Any violation of any of these requirements would result in the denial of your K1 visa. Like I said before, you must have met each other at least once within a 2-year period prior to your petition. You and your fiancé are both free to marry. This means that you both are legally able to marry in the United States, and any previous marriages have been legally terminated by divorce, death, or annulment. If this is the case, you will be required to submit death certificates, divorce information, along with your I-129F form. Another thing, once your fiancé arrives in the United States, you must marry her within 90 days. And another requirement also, you must be a U.S. citizen. That would be me, the petitioner. Of course, my wife is the beneficiary of the K-1 visa. The next step would be to read the process for bringing your fiance to the United States. This is a little more lengthy and it's self-explanatory. I would read this step by step. It explains the entire process from the point when you submit your I-129F to the point where it is turned over to the National Visa Service and also reviewed by the Department of State. Basically, upon approval, you will have your application sent to the American Embassy in Manila. Next step, we go back to the top in the search site. Now we know we have to file an I-129F, and then you'll see it brings up the form and the instructions. The form is a PDF, so I suggest you fill it out on the computer because it fills certain edit fields itself. It takes information from one portion of the form and uses that information in other portions. It would be advisable to download the I-129F instructions, which is about 14 pages. About half of it will apply to you, and other parts for criminal activities, past histories with problems and blah blah. But it is quite lengthy. Believe me, the form itself is self-explanatory. It's hard to make mistakes. It'll let you know. Before you submit your form I-129F, keep in mind that you were required to prove that you had been met and spent time with your fiance within a 2-year period. Along with your form I-219F, you should submit photographs of your meetings, copies of your airline tickets, copies of some social media chats and photographs, anything that you can include to prove that you spent this time together. Within the form, in a timely fashion, depending on when you file, it will give you the directions, the address of what they call a lockbox. It's a USCIS lockbox. I believe there are 2 or 3 in the United States, 2 I believe. I sent my forms to Texas, to their lockbox there, along with the fees. The current fees will be in the I-129F instruction sheet, and they do change, so I won't give any information on how much mine cost at that time. Once you're ready, simply submit your form, large manila envelope, all your photographs, additional information. You'll also be required to submit a passport photograph, 2 I believe. These you can obtain from in the Philippines at any prominent photographer, any place in the Philippines where they take passport photographs. These would also be included in your application. At this time, I believe we're going to skip out of the screenshot. Well, that concludes our application I-129F and its submission to the USCIS. Thank you for viewing, and please subscribe to our station and look forward to our next adventure, Pinoy Fiance Visa to USA Green Card.
Thank you for watching.
And
Good
God
day.
bless.
God bless.